sort of been all over the map with the recording and delivery of this thing in terms of time, and recording it at this time, releasing it at this time. And I thought that I might switch to not Tuesdays and Thursdays. Those will record in the morning. Usually I record at night, publish it out then, but I don't know. I think I'll go back to that. I don't know if it matters to you guys in terms of listening. Maybe it does, but the consistency and is probably the right approach. And I think the evenings will continue to be the best time for me to do that and stay consistent. Just got to schedule it in a little bit better. But I do have liked trying to record in the mornings because one, I need to be a little bit more regimented about when I set up and do this. I need to spend a little bit more time organizing and clarifying my thoughts and being a little bit more coherent because I don't have as much time throughout the day to think about what I want to record. So far I liked it for that reason, but I do think we're going to go back to the evenings. I like the release schedule better, and I like the timing of it. And I think it gets, listened to more if I do it that way. So that's where I'm at on that one. But been a little bit colder here recently in Colorado, which if you're working outside all the time, probably not fun. But I always think it's an interesting perspective change of the extremes of weather. Kind of helps you think a little bit differently about the world and, respect it a little bit more. I caught myself outside just, not really prepped. I wasn't prepped. The dogs weren't prepped, and it was a lot colder than I thought it was going to be. So just had to be a little bit more intentional about the day, and it's nice to have an excuse to do that. Just respect it a little bit more. Take a little ownership on yourself to be prepared. So in that way, I was grateful for the ass kickery of nature, day 3, a little gratitude. And the reason I'm grateful for that is, like I said, because I think it helps me be a little bit more intentional and take care of my own business. Because nature can be just so sweet and gentle, but she can also be big and scary too. So that's the day 3 gratitude. I'm just grateful for the extremes of nature, and they give you an opportunity to turn inward, take a little more accountability, take care of your own business. So had a bunch of stuff I wanted to chat about. A couple cool ideas, I thought. One was the concept of being bummed out versus burned out, diving into the details of mundane tasks. How do we, what do artists do to the mundane? And then also when learning a new skill, habit, practicing something, looking at it from, the easy practice, the medium practice, and the hard practice, and how do we approach that? I also wanted to talk about just the complex of simplicity. And obviously, we always say simple, but not easy. But I do think sometimes it's especially with all the gizmo gadgetry we have in the world, which I do love. And I love just like the nerdy deep dive discussions and, the wonkishness that you can have over anything nowadays. There always seems to be another detail of something. How important simplicity is. I was talking about just how it's been colder lately, and one of the only things that bothers the creatures, the dogs, when they're outside in the cold is their feet. They get a little ice pack under the paws, and they start gnawing at that. It gets annoying for them. And I see them start to pick up their feet every couple steps. And so we've been on the hunt for the right dog booty. And, you've been looking at everything like the battery pack heated dog booty and the one that has the freaking, all-terrain rubber triple grip padding and all this stuff. And we tried a bunch, and they were junk, all of them. Really, $20 a boot, stupid. You're spending $80 so your dog can wear shoes, which is stupid. Anyway, I was on Instagram, and I follow people that I used to compete with and know through competing. Meredith Root, Alex Parker, they own Tactic Nutrition. They live up in Canada where it's really cold, like the actual cold. And they have some dogs, and I noticed their dog was wearing some dog boots, and I shot him a note. And basically they were like, yeah, this is what all the locals use up here, and the working dogs up here use this. And basically it's just a piece of fabric with Velcro on the top. Really, really simple. It's not like contoured or fitted to the dog's foot or whatever. It's basically like a sock with Velcro. And you can get like different types of material, maybe some more water resistant or a little bit more durable than others. But they're basically $2 to $3 a boot. So you're spending $8 to $12 total per dog, which is amazing. And they go on easy. And anyway, bought them for the dogs and they love them, which is really cool. They go on easy and they don't bite them off. And it was fun throwing them on the older one. It's like I put him on him and he all of a sudden went into 4-wheel drive mode. Just basically spent the entire time sprinting outside, would not stop, which is always fun to see. But the point is they were really simple. And it's like you're looking for this like really complicated best solution. And, it was simplicity that was the approach. So it's always a nice reminder for us who have access to plenty and have access to a lot is how useful simple can be when we're looking for a solution to a problem. I always, for me, it's always front and center with fitness and nutrition. How crucial simple is, especially when it comes to like I'm having a hard time doing X, and I want to solve it by doing Y. What is the right habit? And honestly, it's simple. The other day I was, eating and I was telling Cassandra, I was eating like some greens and some steak, and maybe there was like some rice or potatoes mixed in. And I said to her, I just goes, gosh, if I could eat this every day, every meal, I was like, I feel so good. I was like, this is all I want in the fridge all the time is just be able to throw this together. And I love to snack, but if I could just throw that together all the time, it would just be, it's the solution. Like I feel better. I don't feel good after snacking. And what's funny is I say, if I could, right? It's a super simple approach. Maybe not easy, but super simple. It's something I definitely could do. Have been trying to do more of and just have those things prepped. Just the little, the mixed bowl of snacks of yum yums, some greens, maybe a little olive oil, protein, some sort of starch, right? We've been saying it for years, but it works. Anyway, easy, medium, hard. And this is, again, a lesson I learned, been learning from the dogs is we're teaching the dogs something. And, they learned the basics portion of it. We're teaching one of the dogs to ring a bell with her nose to let us know when she wants to go out and in. And we've noticed this a couple times with the dogs. We jump, we teach them the easy skill or the easy portion of the skill. And then we jump all the way to, we go from A to Z. We jump all the way to the hardest iteration of it. And then we scratch our heads on why the hell they won't get it. So she rings the bell with her nose, and then we hang the bell outside and we leave it there, and it's cold and she wants to run inside and she's outside. We tell her bell and she doesn't do anything, just stares at us like a bunch of idiots. And we've done nothing in the intermediate. And so one of the things I was watching Cassandra train the pup the other day, and Cassandra got her to do it and then stepped away a little further and got her to do it, and slowly, incrementally increase the difficulty of the drill. And it was amazing watching how well the dog took to it in this progression. So in that scenario, Cassandra didn't jump from the easy to the hard. She put in the middle work, and that got me thinking. Another application is like in CrossFit. It's easy if you don't have muscle ups. It's easy to come in to do the muscle up progression from the floor using the leg assistance. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I got that. I'm going to jump to the high rings. That's the hard skill. That's the hard application. And you fail and you fail and you fail and you fail. And the other thing is it's easy to learn the first step and then go to the last step and fail at it a bunch and then scratch your head and just keep trying at it. That's easy to do. I think the hard part is everything in the middle. And this is what we miss when we're learning skills or teaching somebody something is all that shit in the middle. We miss all of the strict pull-up practice and the strict ring pull-up practice and the holds on the rings and holding in the false grip. It's all of that medium level stuff, everything that happens between A and Z that we just jump over. We spend a little time on that first step practice, and we're like, well, I got that, mastered that. Now I should just go for the full meal deal, level 99. And I think that's a huge pitfall that I see. And I've noticed it in myself in learning new things. And it's crazy how much dogs are teachers and trying to, it must happen to parents all the time too. Not saying that being a dog owner is like being a parent, a lot more complexity, but in just the having to be front and center of teaching somebody something daily, I learned so much about myself, and that's what I've noticed with the mutts is, they score big on the first step of the progression, and then we skip all the other stuff, all the other letters, and they're like, well, they got that down, so let's make it as hard as possible, and then we just scratch our heads on why the heck they can't get it. And I see that so much in the gym with skills and progressions. Oh, I just snatched 95 pounds. Why can't I snatch 185? Well, it's all the middle stuff. You got to still back squat. You got to still overhead squat. You got to snatch bounce. You got to snatch deadlift to mid thigh. You got to keep doing all that stuff. I do think it's that after you get A down, it's B, C, D, and everything else. All those other steps you got to spend time on and incrementally work your way up before you earn that Z. So don't skip the middle steps and expect all of a sudden to be a master at the final step. More tomorrow.